welcome back. Hello, it has been 2 weeks since I've last uploaded. I'm sorry for the inconvenience and probably all of the wait you have been. So, I have been starting a lot of new what ifs, and I do understand how many I've been doing. And also, my teacher has planned to have this project due on this Wednesday. Yes, in like 2 days. So, I'm just gonna breeze through everything. I'm pretty sure these are basically just one-shots at this point. I may... Oh, and What If Deku Was Rambo is, I'm gonna redo that one because, I didn't like the structure on how I did it. I'm sorry. Okay. So, I'm pretty sure this is an original, concept and what if. So, what if Deku was DreamXD? Okay, these are my theories / headcanons for my what if and the Dream SMP. Okay, UA's a college. I need to start off with that. Okay, DreamXD is a god, and he's the god of wisdom, death, life, and the end realm, basically. And everything associated with the end and immortality. And is immortal, sorry. Dream is the representative / apostle of DreamXD. But he's not immortal like DreamXD. And he's just a reflection of him, most likely. I like to think that DreamXD is aware of Carl is a time traveler, and also aware that Dream knows he's a character in his story. Let me explain. If you know that YouTuber, you know. I got this from a TikTok where the book that Schlack gave Dream was actually the script of the Dream SMP. Then, how he suddenly didn't care for anything because he knew if Tommy, something, sorry. It has been a while since I've been on the Dream SMP for a while, that his story would end, and he didn't want that. So basically, yeah. I don't know who made it because it's a compilation and has been lost in my history, and I don't know how to do links, so please don't ask me about it. And I'm pretty sure we all know it's the revival book, but let's just stick with this, okay? Thanks. DreamXD has seen Carl time travel and seen his adventures, and he has seen way more than Carl, and Carl doesn't know knows of his existence but cannot speak his name. Speak of his existence, not his name, sorry. DreamXD isn't the only god, and none of them are the Dream SMP members. Not even Techno. He's more of an apostle or representative of the blood god, and that's all. Of course, he has some of, he's, I would say, demigod, I feel like it. And none of them keep in contact, they just do their jobs, and, DreamXD does not control Dream in any way, shape, or form. Dream does it of all his free will. So all the things he did, his free will. DreamXD is one of the top gods on the server / universe and alternate universes. The more things you need, the more powerful the things you will represent, like life and stuff, the more powerful you are. But the real Supreme God has never been seen and only have heard his voice. And they can probably kill him. DreamXD doesn't associate himself in mortal matters unless he finds them interesting, and he found Dream interesting in his past lives or reincarnations or ancestors, if you'd like to think like that. Or anyway, for the Tales of the Dream SMP, go for it. I like to think Dream named himself after DreamXD in the SMP, since his name is really Clay, and he changed his name, so it'd be an honor to be named after a god. Dream has all of the abilities. DreamXD has all of the abilities of all the end creatures, and can make them in the palm of his hands. He can teleport old stuff in a dimension or something close to like a shulker. He has dragon's breath. He can make dragon's breath. He can make end crystals. And now to the story. DreamXD POV. A day I thought would never come anytime soon, but came anyway. I was summoned to a meeting with the head gods, with the rest of the imbeciles I have to monitor. I saw the beautiful table that was marble and looked elegant. I ran my hand down the table where I would sit. Instead of sitting on the chair, I sat on the bench that was near the window that showed the world of the SMP I helped create. The voice of the Supreme One then said, "I see you came early, as always, Dream." It's a nickname, don't question it. I don't flinch like the others would at his presence, and I go to kneel and say, I kneel to the Supreme God. I wait for him to let me stand, and they say, "You may rise." I stand up and sit and wait for the other gods to come. They come and start talking to each other and catching up as they see XD. It's another one of his nicknames. Not speaking, and one of the smaller gods say, "Hey, why don't you join us?" I look at them and say, I know when my upper god is present, thank you. The lower god says, "What do you mean? They aren't here." I look up. I look at them with annoyance. I look at the curtains and the Supreme One was behind and say, "Supreme gods, do forgive this," I say. "Supreme God, do forgive this lower god of their manner. They do not know how to sense your presence with their weak status. Do forgive them." The voice of the Supreme God says, I will forgive, but do know how to sense a presence larger than your own, even when you cannot see them." The lower god bowed on all fours and thanked them for their forgiveness. And then we started this meeting. I sat quietly as they started talking. The Supreme God said, "I have discovered a new world of humans, but they have powers close to ours, but not to our extent. My eyes were covered in a cloak that covered my face, and my halos were filled with that also covered my face. They were filled with excitement and curiosity and questions if this new world existed at all. Okay, so let me show you some other pictures, like that one. That one. Like, this is like the bottom and stuff. This one, that one. Yeah, I think you get the point. How about we stop at this one? Okay. They talked about the powers of the system and how they made it over the years and seemed to be somewhat in the future. They then said they want one of the gods to go down and be reincarnated as a human baby and become human. I raised my hand and was given permission to speak and say, If someone were to be reincarnated, would they still have their abilities and their memories? I hear my answer in the voice of the Supreme. Sorry if I'm a bit low. Sorry. I'm trying to get close to the mic. You will still have your powers, but your memories will be sealed. Now this meeting will be over. You may leave. I then start writing books and scrolls. No one knew why I wrote them. Only I knew why I wrote them for a long time. After a long time, I finished 84 books and scrolls. I requested to speak to the Supreme One, to speak to them about the new world they discovered. After what felt like forever, I was go to this new place, and I was excited. I was permitted to bring anything, so I brought the books, scrolls, and some of my weapons, also some jewels and jewelry. I was ready and sat in front of the Supreme Being with my eyes closed. I felt a touch on my face. I was tempted to open, but decided not to. Then it went white. Narrator's POV. It's raining a woman, and a woman is getting chased down by some men. She had a baby carrier around, and holding a baby in it. She ran in an alley, losing them. Okay, we good. She ran down the alley, losing them. She sighs and then walks to a building and puts the infant down. She cries and puts the box next to the infant with a towel covering them both. She then also puts a notebook, kissing the infant's forehead and leaving in the distance. You hear a woman's cry, but no one answered. Her call for help and yells of hers made the owner of the building find the small infant and bring them him in and the box. The person holds and carries and sees the infant. Slowly decides to keep them as their own. The baby had light brown hair. His eyes were neon green and would glow in the dark. He had white wings on the side of his head and neon and wings on his back. There are only one since he's only a baby. There's only one pair. He's gonna have 3. And had little floating halos crossed over on his little head. The person was named Inko. She recently had a miscarriage and saddened her to depression due to her family feeling that she was unneeded and was abandoned by her husband. But when she found the infant, the happiness that she was going to feel when she was pregnant came back, and she was ecstatic. She named the boy Izuku Dream Mizuki. Inko also renamed herself to Inko Mizuki because of the night she found Izuku on a full moon, a beautiful moon, just like the one she found her light in the darkness. But in the form of the moonlight, Izuku, looking up at Inko, smiled. Her heart melted with his cuteness. 4 years later, Izuku has been reading the books that were left for him. They are about how to use his abilities in the future and how he would look in the future. Izuku knows he's not blood-related, but still loves his mother. And most times he will refer to her as mother, mom, or maybe mommy on special occasions or any occasion. Izuku clings to her a lot, but over the years, his hair has turned into a dark green, like the tips of his hair has turned into a dark green like Inko's. But she paid no mind. Izuku wears a mask in public with the XD, or the smiley face if you would rather, on, but wouldn't know why. But then someday, someone would knock on the door, and Inko answered it, and she was talking in an annoyed voice. Izuku curiously peeked behind the wall to see 4 people that looked kind of close to his mother. But he decides to stay and see what they were doing or saying. The oldest of the men that looked kind of old in comparison to, well, the others who looked kind of young. He said, "Inko, darling, it's been so long. How have you been?" Inko says, "It's been 4 years, and this time you consider to come back into my life, Dad." He says, "Oh, come on, Inko. Aren't you happy to see us?" Inko sighs and says, "No, not honestly. I'm glad you kicked me out of the family. I have a good life without you." The man seemed to be her father, said, "That is no way to talk to your father, Inko Midoriya." Inko then says, "My name is Inko Midoriya. It's Inko Mizuki. Thank you very much. Now please leave me alone." Her father was going to slap her before hearing a small voice say, "Mommy, who are they?" "Mommy, who are they?" Inko walks over to pick him up and says, "Izuku, dear, you should be in your room where I left you. I'm sorry for taking so long. You must have gotten bored." Inko nuzzles his nose, and he giggles and says, "It's okay, Mommy, but who are they?" Inko glances over and says, "No one special as you, my baby." Inko then puts Izuku down before saying, "Mommy has to take care of something, so go back to your room, and if you hear yelling, just ignore it, and I tell you not to, okay?" And Izuku says, "Okay." He runs back to his room, and Inko looks back at them and says, "Just leave. I don't need you to be in my son's memory, especially now." Inko's father says, "I thought you had a miscarriage. Didn't the doctor say you were infertile?" Inko says, "Yes, now bye." She closes the door and locks it behind her. Sorry. She goes back to Izuku, and he cheers. He cheers, and they play until he gets sleepy, and she puts him to bed. The next day, when Inko was asleep, he heard the knocking on the door, and he puts his mask on and answers the door and says, "Hello?" The man from last time says, "Hello, child. Who are you?" Izuku hesitates and says, "You probably want Mommy. I'll go get her." He's grabbed by the man and says, "Oh, come on. Who are you? What's your name? Why do you have a mask?" Izuku feels uneasy and says, I'm sorry, but I'm not allowed to tell people I don't know." The man gets more hostile and yells at Izuku. He squeezes his arm and hurts Izuku. Inko woke up and grabbed her handgun and pointed at her father. She is angered at the sight she sees, and her father lets go of Izuku. Izuku runs into Inko's arms, crying, and she yells, "Why the hell are you hurting my child? Don't you dare even try. I swear I'll call the police." Izuku becomes a crying mess in her arms while she tried to calm him down. She tells him to go to his room and stay there until she knocks 5 times and agrees. He runs to his room. All he heard was screaming and then sirens, but he was too scared to open the door. He looked out the window to see the old man being arrested and her mother having a scar on her arm. It was bleeding pretty bad. Izuku ran out the door and ran to his mother and said, "Mom, are you okay?" He cried and Inko smiled and said, "I'm fine. No need to worry, baby." Izuku, after the event, didn't like Inko's father one bit, and even when he went to apologize, he was too scared to meet him face to face and never wanted to meet him again. Ever. Okay, guys. That's the end of that. I hope you like it. I mean, like my Janice what if, yeah, I'm trying to work on it, but I'm having trouble doing that. I'm working on the Rambo what if. Sorry, it's not done yet. I was gonna do what if Deku was the son of Carl, Sapnap, and Quackity. Maybe in the future, when I have my shit together, you know. What if Deku was Technoblade? Yeah, that's coming up maybe in the near future. What if Deku was Dream? Definitely coming up soon, but not now. What if Deku was Filza? Definitely coming out soon. What if Deku was the reincarnation of Sleepy Boys Incorporated plus Tubbo? I'm thinking about that one. Sorry. The Janice one, we're getting to that. And I have a new what if. And I've already done the first part of it. It's what if Deku was in Hell, Visby Pop version of Hell, like has been Hotel. Sorry. Basically, yeah. I hope you liked the video and subscribe. Click the like button and click the bell icon and subscribe for more. Bye, guys.